Welcome back. Uh, I think the last episode stopped pretty abruptly in the middle of a conversation when I got a phone call. Now, it does look like I've just resumed, and that's true, but it has been probably about 10 ish hours, maybe even longer. So I have no clue what the conversation was about. So I didn't talk about it before because it wasn't done yet, and now it appears to be done. But what's been pulling me away is my car. My car has been in disrepair, for lack of a better word, for a good amount of time now. And just today we finally finished. So there was rusted, run under your wheels, there's a big spinning metal disc called the rotors, I think. And the rotors had rusted on all four of my wheels. The car had been sitting for a long time. How long has that been there? The rotors have been rusted for a long time. And so, wasn't too. The car had been sitting, rotors had been rusting. We weren't able to get it repaired at the time. And the reason it was broken was something at the end. So we recently, after somebody ran a stop and totaled the car I was driving, decided to go back and fix my car, which had been a long time coming. We can actually fix this with only a single. Fix this with one obsidian right there. I don't have any lapis, so it doesn't make sense to make an enchant table, but it does make sense just to place that and then use this, right? Yeah, there we go. But the rotors are rusted, and to get to the rotors, you have to take off the whole wheels anyways. And when you do that, I mean, the process is annoying to get through to all of that stuff. But once you do, you get to the same area the brake pads are in. And all my brake pads were about halfway. But the thing is, it's already such a nuisance to get there. We decided just to also fix the brake pads, or replace them, not fix them. Replace the brake pads. Because some of the stuff on there had started to get a little corroded, so we just decided better safe than sorry. So we were fixing that all up. And this process normally wouldn't be too difficult. But New England has a funny property of, if you're in California or in Florida, it can rain a lot there. But your vehicle doesn't rust because the level of salt isn't that high. Not the case in the American Northeast. Because in the American Northeast, things can and will rust. And that leads to the very, very fun scenario. We needed the second. Very fun scenario of what happens when all the metal parts in your vehicle begin to rust. Well, there's a bunch of small metal parts that connect the bigger metal parts. And those rust. And when something rusts, the biggest problem with it is that you can't actually move the pieces. See, a lot of those pieces are already pretty tight. There's some springs that are, they're springs. They're locked in a certain position and they move when you relieve pressure. And the pieces have to be able to move. And there's a few pins that hold pieces together. None of this should be too surprising. You don't need to have like a degree in engineering to understand that pins hold things together. There you are. That's gonna hurt. Actually, the explosion did no damage Only the fire tick is doing damage, and our absorption actually ate a chunk of that, which is funny. I'm glad I didn't hit one pigman. Wait for that to get close, and then miss it entirely. Hey, a gas tier! That'll be useful, assuming I don't screw the pooch again. I need to toss something out, because the gas tier is very valuable. Yeah, shovel, it's time to go. So anyways, the metal pins start to essentially lock up, and you can't move them. Also, I believe this is a bastion right in front of me again, because I haven't learned my lesson with these yet. Oh, but visible gold. Easy. See? They want me to have it. So the pieces are locked together, and you need to fix the fact that they're locked together. And now there's the dad's favorite tool. For those of you who know it, I'm of course talking about. Oh, I definitely should go back before I explore this and get a screenshot of the coordinates of my nether portal. Because I only loosely remember how to get there. But where was it? All right. So the pins are all getting stuck. So you can use the dad's favorite tool, which is WD-40. But the problem is that WD-40 has to get into the small nooks and crannies. Because if you can't get it into the gaps, which the rust has sort of put like a little bit of a layer of filth in, you can't actually do anything. And all these pieces are very tightly packed together. And this leads to a quite immediate problem. You can't get the pieces unstuck because they've rusted together. Well, they haven't rusted together like forming a bond, but rust has these little jagged edges. And if you have taken physics, you know the basic rule is that friction is two smooth surfaces will slide again across each other, but even these smallest little spikes and things like paper can cause things not to move apart. I'm demonstrating this with my hands, but I know you can't see it. There's more easy access gold. Feels like a bait. Oh, there's enforcers right up there. We've got enough arrows for you this time. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Because now what if the piglins over here are mad? There are no piglins over there. But there is. Yes, there is. If I stand like this, he'll just shoot. Sorry, I'm concentrating. I don't want to ruin another run to failing at the bastion level again. Ooh, you have hopped down. Alright. So there's a few ways to de-rust things. None of which particularly foolproof. The main way is that these parts will move against each other. You just need to separate those little gaps that are causing that increased friction. So, all you got to do is move one of them, just a little bit. Now, these pieces are generally made out of different metals. And here's a little bit of metallurgy for you that don't know. This is a law of thermodynamics. Different metals A metal expands when it is heated. Different metals heat to different degrees before heating up or before expanding. So that's a useful property because here, we'll remove the clock. We hardly knew you. That's an important property because if the two pieces that you're trying to separate are made of different metals and they expand at different rates, you can heat the metals and they should theoretically. Jesus Christ, they're so tanky. Swimming in lava without a problem. But they should theoretically expand slightly different rates, separating those little gaps. And this works okay. It's not foolproof, but it does work. It gets you a little bit of separation. Usually just enough separation to where you can now force it. Can you see me? Maybe from this angle. Yeah, you can. I was trying to pick up the lava. He might have actually just... Need another one of my golden apples. Just chomping away at these things, but this place should have enough good loot to make it worth my while. I'll take your shot. I'll take mine. He's backing up. This is scary. I don't like being here. Anyways, I was talking about those metals. So we did end up expanding some of the rusted pieces. Just enough. And by just enough, I mean we got the pieces to separate. Huzzah. I don't have glowstone. I'll need to grab that as well. And so... There's a crossbow here. There's the durability of this crossbow. I'm wondering if it's worth it. The leather's probably my least valuable asset at the moment. Jesus Christ, my inventory is so cluttered. A looting 2 iron sword. That's probably worth holding on to. Ancient debris has to be worth it. I mean, it's one of the rarest things in this game. $5 cobblestone. Probably not. Loading 2 sword would be nice. Sand I can recollect. Armor trims, though, I mean. That means we send out the flint steel. We grab the looting 2 sword. Man, if default Minecraft just had backpacks. The reason for the crossbow is I can load it with an arrow, and now it's a readied shot if I need it. I don't have blocks on my hotbar. Go back up. Go back up. Gives me a stack of blocks. I don't want to waste it. Here's something I can do real quick. We'll craft up a new pickaxe. Toss the old one, toss the furnace, grab the iron. I learned my lesson from last time. But there's treasure in this room with the gold. Which means there should also still be treasure way back in the original room with the gold. And also, isn't there more gold here probably then? More treasure? But the cars. So the metal we did end up managing. I'm gonna block off this and loot these chests. Regular zombie pigman, you're fine. Ooh, a netherite scrap. Netherite smithing template applies to diamond ingredients. What? Another looting 2 sword. We'll keep this one. This one's actually at good durability. Do I just use it? No. Damn, we gotta take this as well. We gotta take whatever this is. Does that just upgrade a piece of diamond equipment, or does it mean that it... Check the recipe book. Under which heading? I have no clue what this does. The netherite scrap is obviously worth a lot. The flint and steel, I guess, is worth the least. Another snout trim, another one of those. More magma cream, very important. Soul speed too, not worth it. Alright. Sorry, I started focusing on the game again. The cars, I was talking about cars, vehicles, motor vehicles, pieces expanding. Alright, so, expanding pieces. You heat up certain pieces, they expand, and that enables you to essentially just get enough space to wiggle with them. Then you still gotta force them. Doesn't suddenly slide easy. But you can now physically force them to do what you want them to do. Gotta take these guys out from a distance. Jesus Christ, they're so tanky. Maybe that's in the lava? Hopefully. He just doesn't care. He's being shot to death and he doesn't care. Entire place is so sketchy, man. He's dead and the other guys don't care. That's ideal. But as I was saying before, I keep interrupting myself each time. Oh, this guy's gonna get angry the moment I mine that gold. I'll just shoot him down as well. So we expand those pieces and you still gotta force them, but you know, there's ways to force things to move. And we do, because Well, we have to. I mean, we gotta move the parts. So the entire purpose of what we're doing. I'm gonna toss those gold nuggets for the moment. Gonna mine this gold. So we. That's unfortunate. So there we are. We're forcing the parts to move as we want them, using brute force. We're abusing leverage. We're abusing leverage. We're getting this giant metal stick out. Just all for the purpose of. I actually hit the gas from there. That's hilarious. So the reason we're doing all this is we're moving the pieces about. We're getting access to what we need access to. And so we're moving the pieces. Took effort, we moved the pieces. We're cleaning all the pieces using brake cleaner or brake part cleaner is technically what it's called, and that's what it does. You clean all those pieces. You get rid of the corrosion. And the new brake pads come with new springs and new pins for those well, not the pins, sort of. It's a weird mix because you don't. How do I put this? You don't get the new like metal rod pins that hold things in place. You do get new like little almost like grenade pins that hold another piece together. It sounds awkward, but trust me, it's very well flushed out system. Hey you guys, I'm sorry, I'm gonna hotbox this room. I believe there was a second one of you and I heard one death. Is it just hot? Is it hot in here or is it just you? So we're moving around all this part. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. It's been a long day. I wanted to record some Minecraft. I wanted to play some Minecraft, and I only play it while recording. So, yeah, this is a treasure. I want to get down there so bad, man. The loot could be so big. Jesus Christ, this place has so many floors. Alright, step one, I'm going to have to get down to that base floor. So we should do that without physically interacting with anything. So we break through to what we need. Oh, and having a bed on my hotbar, that was a genius idea. I'm glad I've had that the entire time. The lava has been useful. We should not keep it next to our building blocks. But so we break through. We're doing what we need to do. We're cleaning parts. Blah blah yada yada. We force it all through. I'm not trying to bore you with the details of car work. I'm just trying to get to a point at the end, which you'll understand when I get there is far more interesting. So, to make the job of removing certain parts that can rust easier, like the big bolts on the edge of wheels, they're called lug bolts, and lug bolts on them have lug nuts, and you probably have heard of a lug nut before, maybe. It's not a guarantee, but it's possible you've heard of it before. This is not the area I want to see a ghast. I do not have the easy ability to run up. But essentially, you can put certain product onto components like this um, in order to make them not stick. Now you put these on like the edges of anything that has treads, like screws. And so when you do that, you actually end up making it so the screws turn, and then they stay turned once they're turned, but they don't get like rust, and it's called an anti-seizing agent. And it is a silver paint-like consistency. And it comes with a brush, and you quite literally just paint it onto surfaces. And then you put it onto anything of that nature. You can put it onto. God, my reaction speed is fast enough for that. So you put it onto anything of that nature that you don't want sticking to other parts. So essentially anything that moves, you don't want rusting and sticking. That's the criteria by which you use anti-seizing agent. That's it. So anyways, we're applying anti-seizing agent to a lot of things. Because, well, as I've just mentioned, you know what? You just want to go up there. Fine by me. You're out of the way. But, so we're using anti-seizing agent on all the proper parts. But we're using a lot of it. Like, not like, oh, we're using an entire bin of it, but we're using a substantial amount. Like, a noteworthy amount. And so, after all of that said and done, we've used a lot of it. And so on me, I have amassed quite a bit of anti-seizing agent, and I'm wearing a pretty nice shirt that I like. And so to prevent it from getting stained, we're gonna have to use like a degreaser. And just to express how much of this I managed to get on me, I had some on my nose, I had some in my beard, had some on my shirt, but it's one of those things where you use a stain remover to get rid of it. And my dad has to clean his shirt of all that stuff too, so he separated that. And I'm going to take a shower after this episode to clean myself thoroughly because I'm going out with friends tomorrow, and you know, you clean up before you do that. So the point of me saying all this is quite simple. Currently shirtless. Don't let that distract you too much from the content. I understand if it might, but try your hardest to contain your excitement. Alright, we're going to have to do the same thing we did last time, which is get to that spawner covering above us as we go over, blocking off the easiest route. I worry that I accidentally just created a bridge from the bridge to right above me, which is dangerous because all he has to do is take this, so we'll fully encase that with a roof. The longer I sit by not solving this problem, the magma cube spawner continues to stay active. There, magma cube spawner no longer active. You're in the lava. I didn't aggro anybody else that I can see. Those guys can't see me. Take out all these guys under me with the bow and arrow. Even the little guys. Fun fact, baby slimes don't do damage. Baby magma cubes do. How many arrows do I have? 46. Fuck, I can't keep wasting them. They're not as highly mobile though, so I think I can leave them in small form. Get rid of all the medium-sized ones though. Magma cream 9 is plenty. I need to take out the fucking executioner up there. Enforcer, whatever he's called. The one on the bridge is a threat. From what I recall, they don't actually aggro from very... It doesn't take a lot of distance to get them to not notice. Maybe I can just... Alright, my arrow count 35. Not wonderful. These guys I don't think can jump up to me. If they can, they might shove me into the lava though. It's so hard to tell. I mean, they're clearly aggroed to me. And I can't hit them. I hit one when it jumped up. It's a dangerous game I'm playing. Music is getting real fucking intense. Give myself some more blocks. Right, that's another problem with my fucking bridge. That lower part's close enough to the lava to burn. I know that can still burn, technically. Just take out the fucking swarms of these little goons. Keep an eye on my back. The natural sweeping of the sword helps out a lot. That guy dove underneath. Don't even leave one little guy. One little guy can shove you into the lava and end it. I think the chest just caught fire. That edge. It's half a heart. It's not a big deal. Not when I'm getting all of this gold. Oh, and I've officially aggroed that guy. Is it just that guy? I have officially cut myself off though. That might be a good thing because I've cut off. He seems to have forgiven me. Diamond armor, diamond sword. Gold ingots, another one of those trims. Spectral arrows are still arrows, we take that. How much gold I think I can afford to sacrifice a few gold nuggets. More diamond armor. This one's enchanted. Fuck you. Get off my ass. We do not get stingy with the golden apples right now. You drop down from the bridge. We don't need the iron. We pick up the gold. We pick up the ancient debris. The one's one diamond chest plate. I mean, practically full durability. Another one of these. He's angry. No enforcers on this level. Are you mad at me? Doesn't appear that you're mad at me. I can't tell if they're angry noises or if those are just their regular fucking noises. Carry a staircase back up. I'm gonna wait till I get out of the bastion to say anything. Hey fella, you guys like me alright? Yeah, I think we're chill. Now this is still precarious to dig up like this. So I'm going to stop before I hit a lava pocket. Instead I'm going to build over lava with wood. Holy shit. Now that we've escaped the bastion. Holy shit, we did it. 14 gold blocks. Almost full diamond armor. And enough for... what? That's 4 ancient debris. That's enough for a piece of netherite equipment. We got some magma cream. We got 41 gold on top of the 14 gold blocks. We still have golden apples to spare. Holy shit. One treasure bastion is worth a lot if you don't die trying to get it all. Shirtless me pops off. Wow. Now this nether isn't too bad to where, like, I want to go back to the surface and revel in my newfound glorious hoard of equipment. But I do also want to take a quick scan around because, I mean, this nether isn't too unsafe. I still think it's hilarious that instead of just mining some blocks, I am actively building in the nether with wood. Generally a pretty big no-no for what I imagine is obvious reasons. But I mean, this has worked out pretty damn well, I say. Here, I'll sacrifice a wood plank, turn you into more crafting tables, and mine some more. Good. The fact that there was essentially full diamond in that treasure bastion as well, I mean, that's amazing. I needed to keep a piece of gold armor, but they never offered me boots, so fuck it, you know? Diamond helmet, diamond chestplate, diamond leggings, diamond sword. I'm not digging anywhere, I promise. I'm just getting blocks. And I mean, here's some easy access glowstone. Then we'll go down there and see if I got any. Got any gas tiers there. Honestly, 27 logs. Oh, another ghast. It was already injured, apparently. Is that the one I sniped earlier? It technically could have been. Hey there, Pigman. I'm not going to break the block from under you and spleef you. Not because you would get aggro to me, in fact you wouldn't. But just because it would be rude. Let's go down there. Let's do a little bit more nether exploration. Because we are doing quite well supply-wise. And I mean, this nether, as I said, isn't too dangerous. But let's revel in our glory with the in case of the worst, let's not make the last episode of the season me reveling in glory about a treasure bastion, then dying. So I'm going to end the episode here. Then I'll start up the next one right after. So for me, no time will pass. But for you, it's going to be some time. Stay excited, Season 4. I mean, we ain't never looked like this before. I'll have you know that for sure. And if these smithing templates, it says netherite upgrade. If these apply to diamond equipment and make them into netherite equipment, unless this is the new way where you need one of these as well as the netherite, because the way I know netherite to be is you use 4 gold and 4 netherite scraps, and you create a netherite ingot and you combine it in the smithing table. That's how I know it to work. If these upgrade, if they change that and now you need this type of upgrade to do it, then I have 3 of those, which is more than I have for netherite. And if this just works as a netherite upgrade, if this just works as a replacement for a netherite ingot, I mean, that's goated. Because then I essentially have 3 pieces of netherite gear. But we'll leave that there for next time to learn all this, all the secrets. But yeah, we're going to continue exploring the nether.